Hello everybody, top of the morning. Welcome to another FF14 video. I am your host JSauce, and today we will be talking about the benefits of being an Omni crafter slash gatherer. So I guess we're going to start with the most obvious one. Once you hit level 70 at all the crafting classes, you will no longer require a mender to get your gear done. Here's how it is. This guy right here, you are no longer giving him money. No, Maylock, you will not suck gil out of me, because now we have this cool new trick. Go to character, repair, and you only have two here on the list. As long as you have dark matter grade 7, you'll be able to repair yourself like so. Right? That's not the only bonus. As you can see here, it repairs your gear about 100%. That means your gear went from 71% to 171%, even decreasing the rate at which you repair your gear. Everything I have right now is over 100%. That's one of the perks. Low mat and crafting cost. So this happens if you have an Omni gatherer, which is something you absolutely need to do if you're an Omni crafter. It will cut your costs of obtaining mats and crafting dramatically. I'll give you an example. So for instance, let's say we want to make some Cintiq lumber, right? Cintiq log, which can only be found if we go to the recipe tree. And search item by gathering method, Amarang the ladle, which is where we are. You can even do it like so. And it'll give you the map location. So if you're an Omni gatherer, what happens is you can grab the Cintiq logs yourself. Let's grab those real quick. Grabbing Cintiq logs, right? Now you can, since you're already an Omni crafter, you change here to carpenter real quick. Go to crafting logs, Cintiq lumber, and boom! You just made Cintiq lumber with no cost to you except time. Easier and cheaper glams as an Omni crafter. So if you're an Omni crafter already, Omni gatherer as well, all of this stuff can be done with a low cost. I'm going to give you an example of weapons. You want serial weapons? There you go, serial weapons. Omni crafting, you can do any weapon under the sun. Plus bardings. Not only you're glamming yourself, but you have a chance of making some real money. You can grab along. The only thing you're going to need to invest here is time to get the scales. Once the scales are obtained, you can craft the weapons. And in the case of Serial, if you already had all your glams, you could sell them for a pretty penny, I might add. And this makes an investment on your time, and you can also make money when you're farming, let's say, mounts or scales. You don't need to just sell the scales anymore. You can craft and sell the finished product yourself. The chance to make a lot of gil when the patch drops. So we all know when even patches drop, they usually add a new tier of gear, whether for crafting, gathering, and combat. And if you're an Omni crafter slash Omni gatherer, you have a chance to jump on this on day one. Which means if you manage to make a set of gear for raiders to get into Savage. On day one, you're making about 3 to 4 million, more than that. Let's say, let's highball it a little bit. Let's say 8 million per set. 8 million per set per raider. A raid team has 8 members. So we're talking about, if you're lucky and you can sell 3 or 4 of those sets, on day one, you're making over 20 million gil. Also, then when Phantasmagoria disappears, Allegory will be the new Phantasmagoria. You will have items here that will be useful for your craft. So make sure to cap this. I made a video about it, but make sure to craft all of your tomes before this drops. A chance to participate in the firmament. You can do this whether as a crafter or a gatherer. If you're a crafter, you go to Potkin over here, and you will get scripts for your crafts. In this case, a Great Tree Artisanal Sky Builders Goldsmithing Bench is worth 66 scripts per craft. Once you got all the scripts, you can spend them all sorts of way in any here, which has, these are mounts. That is a ram. We got a gorilla and a sheep, also the Pegasus. So you can trade it by mounts, emotes, hairstyles. You got minions here, barding, and music. Also parasols and some cards too. There's gear, which is like glams from the firmament, and lastly there's material and materia here, grade 7, grade 8, that you can obtain with skyscripts. The way when you make skyscripts or obtain skyscripts is whether by crafting, talking to Potkin there, see which crafts you need to do, or you can change to a gatherer and sign up for the diadem. Here is the gathering instance. This is where you obtain most of the materials for the crafts that are done in the firmament. It's more like a teamwork, but at this point, if you're a gatherer slash crafter and you have everything, you can do both of them at once. And you have a chance to participate in this glorious event, which everything you see here on this ward was built and pushed by players. Everything has been done by them. Now, the architecture and the way things are laid out, we do not decide this, but we were the one to push the phases of this ward. Each and every one of these phases have been put in place by the community, not by the devs. They gave us the tools, we finished the job. And you can join in on the fun if you are a crafter and a gatherer. Another thing that's connected to gathering and crafting is guild making. And you can make quite a bit of it. Let's pick an item, any item. So let's go down to the market board and give you an example of the power of omnicrafting. Let's pick an item out of the market bar. Something for the house. Let's see. Titania Shadow Box, for instance. It's going for 839,000. What do you need to do for that? Well, if you put Titania, you can do the barding, and you can do the shadow box. Let's focus on the shadow box. So the only thing you need to do that's actually hard to obtain is the dancing wing, right? here's the thing. The Denson wing can drop from the titaniophyte. So, for instance, let's say that you decided to farm the mount or the butterfly for titanium. Once you obtain those items, and once you obtain the wing, the dwarven mithril nugget and the lignum vitae lumber can be crafted and gathering using your Omni gatherers than your Omni crafters, which will reduce the cost of this item for you personally by about 90%. Which means if you farm this, gather and craft the mats for this and this, you're paying zero money. And as you can see, it sells for almost 900,000 K. With your ability to craft it, not only you can get those items for yourself, rare items for your house or your person, you can also make a lot of money. Desynthesizing. So omnicrafting is not just, well, in this case, omnicrafting is not just crafting. You also gain the ability to desynthesize all the items. In this case, you can desynthesize everything you see here. Well, not this, because that's desynthesized. Anything that can be desynthesized, like this, you will have an option for desynthesis. In the case of primals, when you're farming mounts and you get the weapon drops, if you're an omnicrafter level 80 and your desynthesis is high enough, you can start desynthesizing primals gear. Now, in the case of Tsukiyomi weapons, nothing drops so far, but any other primal will in fact drop a mat for the crafting of weapon or the barding. In the case of let's see, in the case of Siryu, let's do Siryu again. Siryu scale, this item right here, which is required to craft every single one of these weapons. This item right here can drop directly on the fight, or you can desynthesize it from the weapons that drop from the fight into a scale. It doesn't happen 100% of the time, but you will have access to more scales than your average player that doesn't have the synthesis that high or is not an omnicrafter. Once you get that scale from a desynthesis, it's pretty much basically extra 719k on this case if you don't want to craft the weapon, or if you want to grab the scale and craft the weapon, it will be an extra 999k on the paladin. The great bow, 1.7 million. It's all money, guys. It is all money. There's the barding as well, not as expensive because this has been out for a while, but the weapons and the statuette are worth a lot of money. And if you're asking me if you could craft a statuette, let's find out. Oh. There it is. You can craft it by using the Sirius scale, silver grace ingot that it can be crafted by you, gathered and crafted by you, and star sapphire, again, gathering and crafted by you. You can sell it at a big profit, or you can put it on your house as a decoration item. I'm gonna do it. Hefty housing and ship plus submarine fleet maintenance. With omnicrafting, not only you can help, you can be the person that manages all of this. Also, you have the power to by yourself build wheels, airships and submersibles, and change the state, not interiors, exteriors, all by yourself, being Omnicrafter plus Omnigatherer, you can gather all of these ingredients and make all of these mats to make anything you want happening in your FC. Also, if you have all the master crafter recipes, you are able to go into management and repair all the components by yourself, and then send them. Well, in this case you would need permissions, but this is a very good one if you're an FC leader, or if you actually have like an FC house and you're the only member of it, and you're interested in the airship and submarine stuff. You can basically, with omnicrafting / omnigathering, be in charge of this whole section by yourself, and you would never want for anything. The only thing you might want to speed up the process is people helping you gathering the mats for you to build the parts or repair them. But as far as inability to do so because you can't craft this or that, being Omnicrafter eliminates that possibility. Also, as a last note, as of recently, you don't really need a party of 4 to move along your fabrication, your building components. So basically, as long as you're here as a crafter, you can actually advance the next phase by yourself, which makes so much easier for you to craft parts for airships and submarines, and once again put them on the market board, which after you do that, you can either sell them as a personal member, or you can sell these to make money for your FC. Actually, I already sold. Nope, it's right here. And the example is an UnQ class pressure hull that goes for about $1 million. I was able to craft this by myself, no help from anybody. And as a private player with access to an FC workshop, these are some of the new things you can do due to the recent changes on being able to advance a project by yourself. So you can use these workshops for private use instead of just FC use. And last but not least, it is just fun to be able to do a project or a product or even an item that you want to sell from the gathering stage, which spruce logs here obtained with the botanist, all the way to the finished stage. In this case, let's do spruce lumber with the carpenter. You go in here, it's just fun. And it's not like regular crafting either. It's just you have a whole rotation system that you follow. It's engaging. It keeps you on your feet. And that, my friends, is pretty awesome. There you go. You can do normal quality and high quality, and we just synthesized a length of spruce lumber, high quality, that can be used with hardened sap to make treated spruce lumber. And once you're done making this treated spruce lumber, you know that you started with gathering the spruce logs and you ended up with treated spruce lumber all by yourself at no additional costs. And if you decide to use this on the craft or sell it, my friends, it is all profit. The only thing you invest is time. And if you like crafting, you're gonna have loads of fun as an omnicrafter and as an omni gatherer. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope it did help if you guys are thinking about taking this journey. And until the next one, peace out.